Hi there, welcome to Aaron's Wine Talk. Today we're going to talk about a beautiful Lebanese wine from Lebanon. Very hot climate in Lebanon. So how could they ever grow grapes in such a hot climate? Well, there is one particular reason, and that is a microclimatic feature, which is practically the mountains in the Bekaa Valley. The Bekaa Valley, in fact, this wine is called Bekaa Red, made by a winery called Domaine de Tourelles. They speak French as well in Lebanon. They have very much French influence in their expertise. Domaine, which means a winery, from the Tourelles. And that is the name of the brand, who is also the name of the producer. Bekaa is the area, the region where the wines are made and the grapes are grown. And the vintage is 2016. Very high alcohol at 40.5%. That means that this wine should burn with alcohol. It should burn at the back palate. But this wine can give us some surprises, and we could see that there could be some balance at the back palate. This wine is supplied by Picotayer. Picotayer has his own as well top quality wines. And this wine is quite new in their portfolio. And Trevor was interested in knowing about this style of wine. And here I am in order to give the feedback that this wine really deserves. This wine has about four grape varieties, but they are also hot climate grape varieties. They are 40% Syrah and Cabernet Sauvignon. Syrah and Cabernet Sauvignon are the thick grape varieties. 15% and 5% are the black grapes varieties. 50% is Sanso. Sanso is a thin-skinned grape variety which gives more acidity to the wine, whilst the 5% is Carignan. Only 5%, but still Carignan has a lot of acidity, a lot of tannin, a lot of bitterness, and not easy to grow Carignan on its own, but definitely can resist their hot climate within the Bekaa Valley. So we have four different grape varieties, which blended together give an amazing mixture of different aromas and flavors. But here we have the main aromas and the terroir of the Bekaa Valley, Lebanon. Lebanon has a very ancient tradition of making red wines and white wines, and also rosé wines of quality. They also make some sparkling wines, which are fantastic, but obviously they have an early harvest for that. But here we're talking of August, September picking, September mainly for the late ripeners grape varieties, like Cabernet Sauvignon and Syrah. And these wines have very high levels of sugar, and they reach high levels of alcohol in such warm weather. And the climate is typically very hot. We call it a Mediterranean climate, very hot in summer, mild cold winters, and natural disasters are really not a problem here. The vine really grows in good conditions, and therefore Domaine de Tourelles is very suitable for organic grape growing. Yes, there is organic grape growing. They use little sulfur when they make their wine, and wine is sold at a mid-priced range, 950, 985 range, which I think is fantastic value for money. Yes, they have very old traditional methods of making wine. The vines are of bush vines, so the grapes are hanging under small bushes, under the leaves, not on wires, and like that, the grapes will have shade, and that will give literally more acidity to the wine. Plus, the grapes will be very low training, so they'll be very close to the ground, and the grapes will receive the heat from the soil and not directly from the sun. And that means they will have less ripening effects and less scorching heat affecting them. Plus, the shade will help. They're literally will prevent the scorching heat from affecting the grapes. The vines are really old as well. They have some old 70-year-old vines. Here we're talking of 20, 25, 30-year-old vines, but some of them also have 70 years with good vine age. And vine age will give a low yield but fantastic quality to the wine. Plus, in the winery, they have very old tanks. They use stainless steel for the white and rosés, but for the red wines, they use what they call concrete vats, tanks, which are very old and they use of both for fermentation and maturation of the wine. And like that, it's a way of preserving the traditional styles, plus also to preserve the flavors of the terroir within the Bekaa Valley. And yes, the concrete vats is the way forward to make this old style traditional of wine. They are fermented separately, then they are blended, these four grape varieties, obviously with skin maceration at a bit of higher temperatures to extract color and tannin from the skins of the grape. And this wine doesn't have any oak to it. So the winery wanted to create the flavors of Cabernet, of Syrah, of Cinsault, and Carignan, literally together, and literally you can smell the style. Concrete vats is a way of inert winemaking, meaning no gas is affecting the wine, and the concrete prevents the oxygen from affecting it. But during fermentation, they use what they call indigenous yeasts. They don't add cultured or laboratory yeast to the wine, and only the local yeasts of the area are literally affecting the sugars. And when they eat the sugar, they form alcohol and carbon dioxide gas. That is the fermentation process. So let's give a good analysis of this Bekaa Valley Domaine de Tourelles 2016. On the appearance, I see this 4-year-old, and we said that purple is a sign of youth. And again, after 4 years in the bottom, it did not still yet change into ruby. So this wine shows signs of youth, and looking at it, the intensity extremely deep, quite typical from thick-skinned grape varieties. The alcohol legs are quite highlighted and tinted, and they are quite long and thick, as you can see there on the sides of the glass. That represents a high level of alcohol and the hot climate. On the nose, immediately I get that black pepper of Syrah. Syrah is amazing, ladies and gentlemen, on black pepper. And I typically get it. You should blend with this wine with a black peppercorn sauce. Any steak that has peppercorns in it, whether it's green, whether it's pink, whether it's black, any type of peppery styles, and you're going to have a fantastic style. There is some chocolatey character to the wine, extremely pronounced intensity, very ripe black fruit, forest fruits, all the black fruit characters you can imagine. There are the black currants of Cabernet Sauvignon, the blackberries of Syrah, and blueberries, mulberries, forest fruits that are a bit jammy in style as well, but extreme fruitiness. I get some cooked fruit as well. That will become tertiary with age. Slight animal character, but very slight at the moment. It still needs to open up. So in 4 years' time, I think it will be ready to drink, and the animal character will take over the fruit character with time. So this wine has good aging potential. But that black pepper aroma, ladies and gentlemen, is typically amazing. There are no secondary aromas in this wine. There is, however, a hint of malolactic fermentation. There is a buttery style. That buttery character indicates the winemaking method of MLF. So it has typically a creamy texture, both on the nose, probably even on the palate. Let's taste it. Very dry. Acidity is so high. I'm quite amazed. Let's be fair with this wine. I say it is on the medium plus side because you're really coming from a hot climate here. But the Domaine de Tourelles managed to extract a good level of acidity in the wine, and that will keep its freshness for a long period of time. The tannins are soft, they're ripe, they're on the medium level, higherly than it's on a medium plus style. So this wine will have a medium level of aging potential. I would say it will age another 5-6 years. In all, this wine should have 10 years in all. So from 2016, this should go up to 2026. So 6 years, I think, will be a fair bet for this style of wine, for a mid-price style, which I think is fantastic value for money. The finish is on the medium plus side. It's there. I still get the black pepper spice, sorry, but literally lingering on the palate. That sign of earthiness and terroir coming in, dusty tannins. The tannins are there, still pulling me. So I confirm that they are on the medium plus side. So it's a medium bodied style of wine, medium plus style of wine. And you can just pair this with a plain fillet steak with peppercorns. And that would be the amazing bet and food dish to match. with this wine. The acidity will cut the oil when you fry it or when you grill it. And the redness, the protein content, contraire in the meat, is going to soften the tannins on the palate. As we said before, in Chateau Lebanon, wine number one, tannin reacts with protein. Yeah, so you need the protein content to soften the tannins on the palate. But still there, still the tannins are pulling me. Still there, quite interesting this wine to discover, but very, very earthy. The clay, gravel, and calcareous soils that exist within Bekaa Valley. As a conclusion, I think this wine is very good. It can keep, as we said, for another 6 years due to its good balance of alcohol. Alcohol doesn't burn me, 14.5% alcohol. There is no burning sensation. So the winery did a good job in the balance of all the categories on the palate. The palate confirms what is on the nose, but beautiful black pepper that I get and earthiness from the terroir of Lebanon, the Bekaa Valley. So please, yes, I do recommend a Lebanese wine, the Domaine de Tourelles 2016 vintage. Good value for money, mid-priced style. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed it.